GRYSKOL. Yeah, I just rolled out to commercial break today on the way.
Oh, word? Okay. Yeah, I revisited that
Still one of my favorites.
like a week and a half ago. Yeah, I like that project, man. It came yeah, it's holding up well.
Yeah, y'all had a format. The format was all over the place. So I like that. It turned into a long song. You had a verse. Alex had a verse. Then is Cookbook on there too?
On
is that Honey Jazz or
nah? Cookbook is on man.
Right.
Oh man, I can't think of the name of that song, yo. Golden Age.
Okay, that's right. That format on that cut. That's the cut I'm thinking about then. That's the cut I'm thinking about. Because then y'all came back to back on after Cook, right?
Nah, it was Tobias, then me, then Cook. I think you thinking about Honey Jazz.
I am
thinking about me, then Alex, then we went back to back.
Yeah, that's right. That's Jazz, right.
Yeah.
That's the format.
Cookbook made that beat though. That's a Cookbook beat.
Oh,
so that's why you probably saw his name in he made.
Okay, yeah.
It's his beat. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Like Honey Jazz. Right. Yeah, Honey Jazz definitely one of my faves. Like when I listen to that joint, man, I hear everything that we tried to accomplish kind of clear. You know what I'm saying? So when I listen to it, I'm like, yo, it turned out like it was supposed to be a modern take on a classic boom bap album.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I think in that regard, it kind of landed, but I think for some people, it may not. Like it's real kind of lyric heavy. You know what I'm saying?
It is. It is.
Yeah. So, but I when I listen to, it, I'm like, yeah, yo, it definitely.
It's like an album for the heads.
Yeah.
For the heads.
And it's funny because people are going back to listen to that now off of Branches of the Same Tree. So it's funny like to hear people now like, oh yo da 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 da. I'm like so right. Yeah, it is it's very lyrical. Now that you mention that, I mean, you singing, then I heard you know what I'm saying? You put some melodies in there, so I was like, okay. Yo, here's what's funny. So on Honey Jazz, I was singing the hook for my daughter. So that's actually my daughter singing. My daughter's singing on Honey Jazz and on
that's her.
Sucker for Love. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Sucker for Love.
So,
okay.
But so on Honey Jazz, like I was just doing it, kind of trying to give her an idea of what I wanted, and then she just kind of stuck with it. And I forgot that I sent my stems to Kendall P for the mix. So when I heard it in the mix, I'm like, yo, all right, I guess it worked. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't really trying to sing to be on a drink, but
it does work.
It adds some bottom to it, so yeah.
Right, it does work. It does work.
Yeah.
It does work. It was surprising to hear you. You know what I'm saying? That adds some flavor to it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So the daughter's on there. Oh, okay. Even better. That's a special project then.
Yeah, she's one.
She's the one you talked about. You said something about getting her a key to a house or something.
Yeah. Daughter grown, trying to give her keys to a home.
Home, yes, that's right.
Pillage the village when you wear the throne. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I made a GRYSKOL folder playlist in Apple Music. That's why I had everybody in rotation.
What's up, fellas?
Peace. What's good with you, bro?
Oh, what's going on now? All right.
Sorry, I'm late, man.
How the holidays treating everybody?
They good. Hey, man, that motherfucking rhyme was great too. I know that. I said, ho, ho, ho. That joke was catchy.
I've been waiting to say get that one off.
Yeah. You got it off. You got it off.
Yeah, got it off.
On both beats too. On both, you took it to two extremes, man. I love that, man.
Yeah. Heard that last night, the same night. I'm like, wait a minute, would that be foul? I'm like, let me see.
Not at all.
Not at all. Right.
That was perfect, especially for the season, man.
Yeah, exactly.
5 or 6 reels and been good. You could have taken that to everybody's space and been good because that rhyme was bulletproof.
Yeah.
Right. Had me laughing and smiling the whole time. That's when you know you got a great joint. Appreciate
it. I don't know if you saw a guy on TikTok.
Nah, I've been in TikTok for a couple, much against I've been on for a couple of days.
Okay, so I dropped it on the TikTok joint, and my man, he hit me with the comment like, yeah, mine way better than yours or something, something a little friendly competition type, you know what I'm saying? So I guess
that's dope.
Right, very dope, isn't it? So he did the same track, he flipped it too, but so I hit him back. Yeah, nice try and all that, but
not quite.
Nice try. Yeah, not quite.
Yeah, I know Kareem really appreciative of that laptop, man, and the phone.
I'm glad you said that because he didn't mention the phone. I'm like, man, because sometimes
somebody get into stuff.
Yeah, it might get into stuff. That's why I was make sure it turn on and everything. So yeah, okay, that's good. I'm glad he got it. Yeah, Kareem.
Buried in his creative world.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah, man.
That's great.
He's got his song done for the 3rd.
Okay.
I think he got it mixed and everything. I haven't heard the mixed copy yet. I think he sent the mixed copy. I just haven't listened to anything yet. So
okay.
He in good shape.
He got one ready. He got one ready to go.
Yep, he took that seriously. He took the. He heard the schedule after we got off the call with the schedule. He's like, "Yo, I'm motivated. That schedule motivated me. That helped me. It gives me some structure." So he's loving it, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the idea, man. That was the idea.
Excellent idea.
That was a great call.
Yeah.
Appreciate you driving that home too. She making sure we stayed on point and finished that out because we went on our tangents and you kept reining us back in. That meant a lot.
Yeah, it did. Yep. Yeah.
That's the manager music, huh? You and T-Bear probably got that. The supers.
Mm-hmm. And a little bit of mid-school, because mid-school, when he said, do we think that doing some of the reels, is that a waste, or is that a waste of whatever however you worded it? It made sense. Made sense a little bit.
Yeah, mid school is definitely academic, yo. Like I enjoy when he hops on because he brings this element that like it lands
structure,
but it comes from a much different part of the brain, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He brings
that's a good point.
He almost like a Talib type perspective. Like it's just a real kind of well thought out, and this may be the science behind your thought. You know what I'm saying? Like his question about play. I was listening to that episode. I'm like, yo, that was a great question, yo. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I definitely enjoy what he brings to the table.
Yeah, it's like
so he's definitely. I told you guys, I guess through the text. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I haven't given him his official invite to the crew yet. I figured we should probably do that together in some more ceremonious way, and just make it a little more interesting. Especially since he's second wave, I think we should make it something interesting where we announce it to the world too. We give him, we talk to him on the call here, something like that. What y'all think about that?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm with that.
I like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
As far as bringing them in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I figure we wait till we get ourselves moving smoothly and make sure we got him on. You know, we got him on and everything. I figure we get him to get some music in too. He's supposed to be working on some music during the break. See how dim sum goes. Make sure we don't jump ahead of the gun too. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just what he does with the GRYSKOL calls alone is enough for me. But I mean, you know.
I think he don't owe me nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the dude is official from my perspective. Yeah. So, you know, everything else is kind of icing on the cake. But I think what his contributions to date to me have been more than enough. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
So y'all want to just pick a date and do it? Y'all got a way y'all want to do it? Y'all just want to blurt it out? I just ain't want it to be all just, hey, you want to join GRYSKOL?
Yeah, right. Hey, you want to be my friend?
You want to be my friend? Yeah, it just didn't feel right.
I feel you. It's wild because my homie, I call him my cousin. His father was in the Air Force, so he's like a military brat. They moved from Japan right to Jersey, right? So they came to my crib one day, and the street behind my house, we call it the back street. Real creative, right? The street behind my house. But we was back there playing football, right? So he came back there, played football with us. Like we was hanging out. So you know, he ain't know nobody in the States. He's been in Japan for the past 3-4 years, right? So we was playing, you know, video games, just chilling. It's like at the end of the night, you know, he's like, yo, you want to be my friend? And I'm like, it was like the wildest question, but it was mad sincere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just hearing you say that about me, that made me laugh. It
know exactly how that feels, huh?
Yeah, that's hilarious. But,
yeah.
Right.
And I've had women do that all the time. Like, you gonna be my friend? He be my friend? All that shit. But yeah, it just seems a little awkward.
Yeah, that's a different one. Yeah. And you got to ask me that. We probably shouldn't be friends.
Yeah,
I mean, that had to be late 80s, so that was acceptable then or something. You know, it had to be late 80s, early 90s. That was still acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Anything after 94, you like, hey.
You're in trouble.
Hey, Damon, do you know what the BPM was to that those lyrics? You remember what the BPM was on that?
I do not. I can find out.
It might be in the stand. It ain't that deep, yo. I got it loaded. I'm gonna just play around with it.
Okay.
I'll throw some drums on it real quick and then just kind of sync it out. I'm thinking it's somewhere between 75 and like 78 though, just based on the way that it felt. But I don't know that for sure.
The flow had a nice bounce to it too. I'm glad you ain't sent it with the original beat too.
There you go. And that's why I wanted to separate that, so y'all wouldn't have that in y'all head, you know. Make a beat like that or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the bounce on that shit. That was great.
Yeah, it goes, yo.
No bullshit.
And it sounds crisp. I gotta find out what kind of mic they're using over there
That's from your man's studio.
Yeah, Young Reese.
Yeah, we should try to get him on one day too, man.
That's good.
Just to kind of, you know what I'm saying? He definitely, you know,
he's dope
for as far as recording your stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, we should try to flip to him in. By the way, January 12th.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's kind of extended GRYSKOL too, because I would love to find a way to get more stuff into his hands to mix. I love what he did with your vocals on Summertime, the effects and stuff he did at different parts and shit. He really took his time with your vocals and gave them all the love they deserve. That's like how I want all vocals to be, like to have a little bit of nuances, engineering nuances thrown in them too, not just straight dry vocals or straight vocals with a simple effect the whole way through. So he's definitely done the best job mixing a voice on anything that I've worked with. In a long time.
I've noticed that like 1,000%. You know.
Yeah, get him. Yeah, we can get him one too, man.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna stand that offer.
January 12th.
Chris,
Grandmaster Busy Wizzy, Chris will be on. Yeah, Chris will be on January 12th. So, I know you speak to him there. I don't know if you remember him or if you talked to him at all, Demond. He in the he's in the text chain. He ain't really active in there too much these days. He's gonna hop on. I know he definitely wants to speak to mental health for a few minutes as well. So it was odd that episode 7 dropped as we were talking about who to have on, because when he got back to me, he's like, yeah, the 12th would be better than the 5th. He was like, and if the fellas wouldn't mind, I'd like to touch on mental health. I was like, that's hilarious, because our next joint actually has a mental health component.
A lot of it in there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, dude is
okay.
Like, the more I talk to him, I'm like, this dude is borderline genius for real,
It sounds like it, man. We talked a little bit through text over the past few months. We started to get to know each other this summer through text.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a really good dude. I know he's been dealing with some things, and he definitely has some insight to share from the mental health perspective, like you said. And he says he plays a shitload of instruments, man. I think he plays piano and he plays something else too. So he's got some quite a bit of musical background. He's got a pretty deep storied background. I don't want to speak for him.
Oh well, let's go. Yeah. Okay.
Dude. Yeah, he's we talk pretty regularly.
I've always wondered. I always wonder why I follow him and why he follows me. I didn't realize I knew him from the chain.
As I say, he definitely we was talking one night. He's like, I've been checking y'all joint out too. I was like, not even think. I'm like, which joint? Like, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, the GRYSKOL thing. I like what y'all doing over there. You know what I mean? And then he was talking about an episode in detail. Like,
a word?
He's like, nah, yeah, I listen. I'm like, oh, word, all right.
Yeah, I believe him, man, because he hits me up every once in a while, like, yo, when's the new episode dropping? He even hit me last week. He's like, yo, the episode dropping today, right? I'm like, I ain't even got my schedule together yet. I'd like to, but he knew before me I was supposed to be dropping one.
Yeah, he's good people, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to him.
Yes.
How often y'all think we should be doing a guest or something? Because I know we want to make sure we take some of these and actually do music and do something, spend some time together. So I don't think we want to book ourselves up too much with outsiders too often.
Off the top, I would say once a month.
I would say, once, maybe twice a month, maximum twice.
Twice max. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, let's, we start, Hove reached out like,
stop popping.
Hove reach out. What the hell?
You had to go to the extreme just to make the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some people we just got to alter our schedules for. I would say he's one of them. You know what I mean? But outside of that, I would say.
Hold on, man. It ain't gonna be no milk and cookies if Hove reach out.
Yo, he one of my favorite MCs, so it ain't milk and cookies coming from me. I fucks with Hove. I tell him about the shit I like, but
we gonna mute your mic, man.
I probably deserve that for Kanye anyway.
Here's my thing about Hove. Like, I think his ability to remain relevant through the length of time that he has, to me, is incredible. And I think he says some pretty dope stuff. I think his business acumen, though, what he's been able to do on the other side of the field is even more impressive. So like my answer in the joint was, I think it's a combination of the two. Like I definitely don't think he's a slouch as an MC. I didn't like the fact that he seemed to teeter right on the line of being commercial.
Oh yeah.
For a little longer than I would have liked him to. But he's like, shit, our intro song for our wedding was public service announcement, yo. Like, you know what I mean? That was our intro song to the wedding. And I'm on record in a number of places. Like, I used to think he was somewhat overrated. He's my brother's favorite MC, but over the years I've definitely come to respect what he brings to the table. But that teetering on the edge stuff for me is always a gray area.
I mean, my issue, I got I guess I'm tired of hearing about him from his realness, I should say, through other people. Like I was just listening to that the time have I ever told you the one about MF Doom podcast?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And they had geez, man, every time I go to say this man's name, I completely blank on it. They engineer. Who was their head engineer? Shit.
Not Young Guru.
Young Guru. They had Young Guru on, and Guru was talking about how all of him and Just Blaze and them, all of them that was in that held that studio down, they was all like underground heads. And they just did that commercial shit as a job, if you will. But they was all underground heads. And Guru went on to talk about how like he was playing like Doom and shit for Jay-Z. And at one point in time, Jay was even thinking about trying to sign Doom. Because I mean, I ain't gonna say, see, that's the whole thing when we get to start talking about Jay-Z. I'll never tell you that the man is whack. I won't say that.
Thank you.
I won't say he can't rhyme. I won't say that neither. But just like what she was saying, I don't really appreciate how he stood more. He was like what, 80-20 on the commercial side, you know? He was way more commercial than anything else. And it's like, you know, it even got to the point, man, at one time that he wouldn't even finish the damn rhymes no more. He would just say shit like, you already know, because he would talk about riding in the Benz on 20s for like 5 songs straight, to the point where he'd just say, you already know what I'm riding and you know what it's sitting on. I'm like, are you fucking serious? That's lazy as shit. Mm-hmm. But that was everybody's hometown hero and shit. And I'm like, man, this dude is, you know.
And I wonder, like,
Wait. Let me interject in here. Hold on. That's 0 for 2 with Jay. What's going on? What's going on? Is this thing on?
No, I'm not.
It sounds like 0 for 2. It sounds like
no. I've grown to have a huge respect.
Okay, that's okay. I mean, that's both already.
And I'm actually going to say, I don't know if he's responsible for a lot of, like, a song like.
I got it. Hold on. I don't mean to interrupt, but I mean to interrupt. It's kind of like what T-Bear said. It's like what T-Bear said. You gave he goes to the point where it's commercial, but he's leading the trend. When you're in the trend and you being led in the trend, then I would say that. But he takes it up with change clothes, show him what you got. I can't stand those songs, but I'll take it because he'll give us Watch the Throne all the way through. I still haven't heard 444 personally. I don't know. I'm afraid to. I would never say that in public.
444 was good.
I enjoyed 444. To me, and I don't know if you can blame him for that run from like 96, 97 to 2012.
Right.
Like everybody wants you to be that, you know. Then is your commercial success a result of your dopeness, or is your dopeness a result of your commercial success? And I think he was dope enough to just he just got big enough to transcend and still keep that core audience.
Right.
And
figured out how to
for me,
he figured out how to balance the two better than anybody else has ever done it, man.
Again,
who else has been able to do that? I mean,
not arguing.
He is not done perfectly on either side of the fence, but he's done some amazing shit that's helped change the way other people do shit.
Yeah. But he's been consistent.
In many cases,
he's been consistent though. He hasn't fallen off to me lyrically at all.
No, I wouldn't say that. No,
and that's that. You know what I'm saying? So again, I've even come to the point where I'm like, yo, his commercial success may have just been because he was that dope. Like, you know, if you get the right, if you capture that audience, they're going to send you over the edge, yo. So you can't really blame him for that.
I mean, I tell you this one because what you call it, Take It Personal Radio, they redid the Nas Jay-Z battle.
Okay.
And of course, if you ever listen to Take It Personal Radio, them joints is like 2-3 hours long of just music. So after listening to it, and I sat through it, you know, I got a more of appreciation for him. I realized there was a lot of joints he made that I did like, but I ain't buying none of his albums. I'm sorry, that's just me.
So and to talk about that battle, like Ether is an incredible song.
Yeah,
I don't think Ether is the best song in that battle, yo. I would take Super Ugly over Ether any day.
Yeah, well, they was just going over the whole catalog.
No, I feel you, but I'm saying like when you talk about like it was Ether was a pronoun for you got, or not a pronoun, what is that, a verb, like you got Ether.
Oh yeah, isn't it?
And I'm not taking anything away from Ether, but Super Ugly to me was like I could see me writing a diss song like Super Ugly before I could a song like Ether.
Right.
You're saying that as an MC, right?
Yeah. To me, I just think like Super Ugly was just punchline heavy. Like Ether was methodical and kind of factual, I guess. But the beat didn't move me, and the lyrics didn't really. I can't really remember any stuff from Ether. I remember a whole bunch of stuff from Super Ugly.
Oh, the rhyme.
Goodness.
Yeah, the rhyme was
Ether
nasty.
Compared to Whiskers like a rat, compared to Beans you whack, and your man Stab made you take the blame. Your ass went from hanging with Jazz to Big to Irvin. Eminem murdered you on your own shit.
I remember Eminem murdered you on your own track.
Yeah.
Me and the boy AI got more in common than just balling and rhyming. Get it? More in common. Left condoms in the baby back seat. You gotta shoot him after that, yo. You can't like that level of like, you know, open beer bottles on the board chip tooth.
That's crazy.
Yo,
that's
like,
crazy.
you know, but again, Ether, the methodical, the breakdown, the kind of the thought that
Biggie and he's Puffy, that shit, or you Biggie and he's Puffy, that line.
Oh,
my
yeah.
The karate class. Yeah, Nas got him with the rhyme at least.
I don't feel that way, and I know I'm in the minority, yo. But just the
this is an interesting take.
Punchlines are super ugly to me.
It's gonna be 100.
Like, I know I'm in the minority, and I'm not.
You know, the win for me is Takeover because I go for the beat. Takeover wins for me just because of the beat.
I did like the Takeover beat. I did like that beat.
All that shit.
Yeah.
The Takeover was nasty too, and
Is that your bitch? Oh my goodness.
Yo, but you know, like, just thinking of those two songs particularly.
You know, is that your bitch? That hurts. And that's when the guy wins the fight and has your girl. Okay, I mean, he technically probably win because of the dynamics he can talk about because he got old girl. But as far as a man standing alone solely, they both win in the battle that they chose to defend themselves, what they chose to say. I think they both win. It's man to man. But Jay-Z comes out looking more victorious because he gets that girl and the next girl, all the girls now at this point. Even though Nas has been the pillar of what hip hop is already. He's done that stuff. Remember one of them rhymes that you said when Nas said he got with Terrell Davis chick, she was snorting coke coke, they put glass in it. It's a crazy story, but he's spoken of being in a circle when he was younger, way before Jay-Z had. So his reference to him, to Jay-Z coming after him, and you know, Foxy Brown put you on. I mean, there's a lot said about Jay. I was thinking about Jay when, because I saw the actual picture of that he put a Prodigy on Summer Jam.
Uh-huh.
And I was looking at it. I was looking at it thinking like, how does that hurt Prodigy? You know what I'm saying? It made me think about, because it was a beautiful picture of a kid, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever, you know, just a kid. That was unfair. He's playing the game before anybody else does. And it makes it seem lame, but he's still in his own lane at the same time. I mean, he gives us that stuff just because he can. He playing the long game. He playing the long game.
I would have preferred
stuff. You know what I'm saying? Woo.
I would have preferred Ether. I would have preferred Ether on a Primo beat, and something more along the lines of Illmatic as far as the delivery and punchline.
I like Ninth Wonder's beat on it though.
Anybody's. I don't even know who made the Ether beat, but I'm like, yo, it's not.
Know.
The Ether beat is crazy. I don't know. I'm going with Ether though. The Takeover was crazy.
I hated that beat. I actually hated that beat. I got into an argument with people over that beat versus the Takeover beat before. So yeah, I'm
like I said, I don't remember what the original sound like. Yeah, I don't remember what the original sound like because I played the Ninth Wonder version so much I forgot what the original sound.
So
I never heard
Ninth did a remix of Ether.
Ninth did a remix of that whole album. That
fuck out of here.
Was it still? Was it
Stillmatic? Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I forgot about that shit, man.
Ninth did a remix of that whole album.
I was just about to ask y'all, did Ether outshine that album?
I'm gonna have to listen to that. I haven't heard it.
No, the album with Ether on it was dope though, man. That was Stillmatic, right? Stillmatic was a dope ass album.
I haven't heard it. I have to go listen to it.
You never heard Stillmatic?
Nah.
Oh man,
yeah, that was dope, man. That was Nas's best job picking beats since Illmatic, I think, in my opinion. In his catalog up to that point.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
That's a classic right there. You definitely got to grab that one. And a hell of an album cover too.
It was God's Stepson.
Yep, I got it.
So God's Son was the original album. God's Stepson was Ninth Wonder's version.
Okay.
Man, that's a different album then.
Yeah, I was like Stillmatic. Stillmatic was a
God's Son got My Country. And the thing about it is, Nas is already solidified with some of our parents. Jay-Z kind of like the dads connect with Jay-Z. Mom like Nas's song. If you know, every so often, I think Jay has a song that never changed that she probably like or something. But as far as like consistent songs on different albums that I say my mom likes, Life's a Bitch, she liked that one. All the way to he made a song about dance with his mother again or something like that. My Country. You see what I'm saying? Where he takes his stuff. Nas went the route with Damian Marley. With Marley's. He did woo!
Yeah, I remember that.
That joint was great. That album was great.
There's nothing that Jay-Z can do. He can grow his hair as long as drag. It's not gonna work with that connection that Nas has, and that's what that guys that steal your girl and go behind your back and shit. You can have Beyonce, but you still paying the price for being a snake. Unfortunately, if that's what happened, God forbid, I'm not saying anything for these guys. Jay-Z can call it tomorrow, come on the show and rebuttal. But I'm just saying, from us as fans, that's what we saw. I'm coming.
See, I didn't really
get and all that shit in your crib. I'm talking about leaving stains on your baby. That's woo.
And that's my like again. So to me, I don't know that I could have wrote Ether. I could see writing Super Ugly. That's all I'm saying.
You can see I know why, because you're brave. Jay-Z is very brave. You're very brave. We call you Batman. You see what I'm saying? You are brave. You're brave. Jay has the balls to step to Prodigy, Nas, anybody. He don't care. He gonna bet on himself.
You know, that's that Brad Joseph.
They had to find Nas to give him his contract. Am I correct?
I think I get what you're trying to say. I think what you're trying to say is what we talked about earlier.
What's that?
Because of Jay's success, he got like the ego and the bravado behind the success, where Nas is like the people's champ, like the street champ.
Yes.
You know.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
I don't.
That's exactly it.
Right. It's like NBA versus Blacktop. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. If somebody came to me and was like, "You got to battle one of them, pick your poison," it don't matter. You got an L coming. Like, you know.
Right.
This is true. Yeah.
There's no.
But blacktop players play on the blacktop. They don't want to play with the league. The league play on the league, and they don't want to go to the blacktop. They don't want to see stuff.
But I think Nas, if Nas went back to the bag he tried to escape, I think it's like I think Nas could pen another Illmatic type joint. Subject matter might be a little different because he's older, you know, more mature, and I think that's what some people have lost sight of. But his pen game's still stupid, yo.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of, I sat down. Well, I ain't sit down. I was walking, but still, I went on ahead and checked out the Magic joint.
Okay.
The new Nas joint, because I was afraid of checking it out. I go on record as saying I wasn't feeling the previous two King's Diseases like everybody else was jocking the fuck out of that shit. And I feel like everybody been beat over the head with the mainstream whackness so much that little bit of effort that was put out on King's Disease, everybody was in love with. But this one, the Magic joint, is different. It's different. Okay. It's almost like they kicked the yes man out the room, and he might have actually listened to somebody, because Nas is rhyming like Nas. Maybe not so much rewriting a Illmatic, but I mean, to make it simple, if you was to take the dopest songs from some of the, I won't call them the wackest albums, but we all know
from those sevens and
over the span of all of the damn Nas albums, we got some duds when it comes to beats.
That's one hot album every 10-year average, and that's so lame.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you took the one or two dope ass songs on all of them meh albums and put them all on this one, it's a pretty solid fucking album that I would listen to again. And like I said, and he rhyming like Nas. He ain't rhyming like Nas trying to do these young boy styles.
I didn't mind either of the King's Disease. I like the second one more. That might be because Lauryn Hill's on it. I don't know. I mean,
they all right. They all right.
But they yeah.
But it ain't, you know, everybody was, oh my God, it's over. You know, they need to erase the fucking fire emoji off your keyboard on the phone. Get rid of that shit so you can use your words. Everybody put the fire down on every damn thing, and that shit just be, you know, it be warm. You might move your hand off of it, but it ain't fire. It ain't burning down houses. It's just a little warm, you know.
Put an oven mitt on, you'd be all right. You have an oven mitt, you'd be all right.
Yeah, you got an oven mitt on, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. But you know, y'all, they be putting that fire on. I'd be like, nah, man. Let's dial it back and listen to it. So, like I said, just like I waited till all the hype went away, because the hype only lasts for 2 days.
Yeah.
Then it's gone. Who talking about it now? Nobody. So I listened to it today. It's only 9 tracks.
Okay.
It was only one song that might have been questionable, and even that one was all right, you know. But he tried one of them little other flows real quick, but the rest of the album, he rhyming like Nas, and he rhyming like grown man that done been through, like the dude you seen in Belly. That's what he rhyming like.
Okay.
The grown man that done seen it, done been through it.
Wait a minute. Time out, Belly.
But you know what I'm saying.
I'm just saying that adds. I'm just thinking about the resume. That's it.
Yo, I'm not anti-Nas.
I didn't say anything. Belly. I just said Belly.
I'm not anti-Nas by any stretch of the. Actually, I was about to say. So when, like, what is your first memory of Nas? Like, when did you hear Nas was like, yo, he's a problem?
Put it this way. A friend of mine stopped me from where I'm running around. I'm not watching movies. I'm in this, running around in the shits. Somebody slowed me down and took me to the movies and made me watch Belly.
Word.
That made me straighten up. The cop killed the kid. Oh, hey.
What's up, Cayman?
Hey.
What's up, Cayman?
Okay.
You doing okay?
All right, peace.
I got a new Hot Wheels garage.
You got a new Hot Wheels garage? All right.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
So here, you can go back in there with mommy.
Mommy's downstairs.
Mommy's downstairs? Okay. You gotta be quiet so they can talk, okay?
All right. But yeah, I'm just thinking about the resume though. You know. I'm pro Nas. Like I'm not a Nas. I might even go as far as to say I think Nas is doper than Jay-Z. I'm not Jay's biggest fan. I prefer Nas to Jay-Z lyrically. That doesn't mean I think Ether was the one though, but you know, I can also acknowledge that there was some stuff in there like I had this tendency to hear you act great, and I don't want your greatness to change. And that like Nas to me suffered from the Houdini effect. Your first album was so dope, you're never gonna be able to give me that again. Like I want Illmatic every year, and that's just not realistic. And the second one actually was dope, and arguably maybe doper than Illmatic, depending on what you're looking for. It was written, yeah.
Yeah, but I wore it was written out.
Yeah, you know. So I'm not taking nothing away from Nas at all. And again, for a cat with that background, that mentality, growing up in that environment, to turn himself into an investment almost mogul. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like his business acumen doesn't get the shine Jay-Z's does. And again, that's probably, to Bear's point, NBA versus Blacktop. But Nas ain't no slouch behind the desk either, man.
Right.
Yeah.
That quiet money, like AZ.
Yeah.
Quiet money. We ain't find out he invested in Ring until after he sold off his portion.
There you go.
You like, damn.
There you go. I don't know. But I think in today's day and age, what I would like to see more is them two working together when it's all said and done. I think there should have been, they're both missing each other on some of these albums that they're not collaborating on. I mean,
I think they're still missing that one classic song. They still haven't done a classic song together yet. I think they've done songs together, but nothing's really together. Like, okay, this is the one.
Yeah.
We talking about Jay and Nas?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think it can happen now.
It can happen now.
It can happen now.
On some natural hip hop beats and not some of this old commercialized bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. At this point, you got Kanye, who's, I mean, is he not in that? We you know, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. I mean, how long do we put is Biggie in that top 5 before people that's coming with more and more content?
He's not in my.
Top. Yeah, I was getting ready to say this is a rhetorical question because he's not in my top.
Not even him. Okay, not even him. I mean, like
he's out of the conversation.
Is anybody else?
Anybody else in the conversation
I think,
with Jay and Nas?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that could be in the conversation.
Yeah, like I think universally people would say Black Thought belongs in that discussion.
Oh yes,
all day.
Yes.
I would say Paz the Noose belongs in that discussion. I don't know how long I could make that argument outside of.
That's a tough one.
A certain group of people, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so but I can also understand why that might not fly. I think you gotta mention Common's name. Again, I can understand why people might start to scratch him out after a while, but I think his name has to be in there. I personally think Pharoahe Monch belongs in that discussion.
Most definitely.
I think the Blacktop Cats would argue that he does. The NBA cats might be like, I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds like Black Thought is the epitome of everybody you name after him. He is the epitome of everybody you name. I don't think Common makes it. Pharoahe doesn't make it. Black Thought is that team.
Why would you say Pharoahe doesn't make it?
Yeah, right.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just curious about why you think he won't make it.
I'm saying you're wrong.
Because it only makes it to like second base. You know, as far as
where does he get stuck? What trips him up?
To me, the popularity of it. I mean, there's an edge to be in, but he wins anyway because he stayed firm. He didn't.
What do you think makes it? What do you think makes it so that he doesn't make it across that popularity bubble? Like I'm like really trying to figure out like what it is, and I'm not even asking with judgment. I'm just like, damn, I'm really curious too because I always wonder like why is it that he doesn't make that extra leap? He had something.
Let me put some real world answer behind that before you go, Damon.
Go.
A couple years ago, we almost booked Pharoahe to be a headliner at an event my cousin was throwing. There's no way in hell we would have been able to get Jay-Z and Nas financially. Mm-hmm. I think that now that doesn't make him any less dope, but when you start to think about recognition, like Pharoahe might show up at your 500 to 1,000 seat spot and rock. I don't see Jay-Z or Nas coming to them joints no more.
So is popularity a factor of whether somebody's a top 5 MC or a great MC?
Yes, popularity within my realm of getting through my domain. Like I said, Belly wasn't on my radar until somebody shoved it in. It's gonna get to me. Something's gonna get to me. And nobody really shoved Pharoahe. I had to go search for Pharoahe if I wanted. It didn't get served up as far as, I don't know, it missed me. He had me as a listener for like 3 or 4 years and then it just dropped. I didn't stay with it like I did with everybody else. That's why I said it's kind of like on the back end of what she's saying, he wouldn't be able to, he can almost book them, but at the point, I mean, I would almost, I like a Raekwon more so than a Pharoahe. After Raekwon he mentioned Black Thought.
Raekwon has the better name recognition than Pharoahe. You put Pharoahe and Raekwon on the stage, mano y mano, I'm riding with Pharoahe all day.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be Pharoahe,
I could be wrong at the end, and I don't necessarily want it with Raekwon or Ghost either. I'm not saying I'm not saying that, but I am saying if I had to choose between Pharoahe and Raekwon, I'm picking Raekwon.
That's an interesting dynamic, the live show, because that's where he wins. I didn't say not at the live show. I meant as far as keeping me as the listener and being popular meaning that you were still tangible.
Pharoahe could drop, and I know he got these rock projects out now that I really I can mess with, I cannot. But when Pharoahe drops a project, I'm on it. Like, like you could play some Raekwon joints me, and I'd be like, oh man, I never heard that before. And I don't mean like 1 or 2 joints.
Right.
I mean,
like, me too.
You could play, you could go through some albums of Raekwon. I'm like, oh yeah, I knew those 2 songs. Right. Yeah, I know 2 from that. Like I'm just not a big Raekwon fan.
That's right.
I understand his niche. I understand what he does. I understand why he has a following, but he never really appealed to me like that. I would go Meth out of all of them Wu-Tang cats.
Yeah.
First.
That's true. But that's a whole nother chain, but I don't know. That's a whole nother chain.
But again, I think Meth's approach to writing rhymes falls in line with what I consider to be a dope MC. Like if you go back and listen to everybody that I kind of talk about, you'll see a very disturbing pattern. I'm not even trying to act like it doesn't exist. Like I'm a punchline heavy dude. Like punchlines do it for me. So
yeah. And Pharoahe
talking about it. Yeah, I leave headlines like corduroy pillows. What?
Yes.
What? What?
I get it. At some point, the metaphors ran. Yeah, I don't know. I must have stopped listening to metaphoric type stuff and was on more reality type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Onyx.
But yeah, we can tell.
That's why I missed that. Exactly. Not saying that Pharoahe not dope. He's what I am now. He's definitely dope. I'm not saying he's not dope.
And I think
it's part of the beauty of what makes us work, man. Is that you guys are so different in your taste and your styles, man.
Right.
And I think the vibe, for lack of a better term, is also important. Like I have to remember, like I would make the same song 10 times for every album if it was up to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because to me there's a great song, right? And if it's great, why change it? And that is horrible from the listener's perspective. But as an artist or as a fan, I'm cool with that. Like, yo, he just said that 10 different ways. And I get where that's boring, and I listen to Salam Remy has a song with one of kind of these new R&B-ish type dudes. I forget who it is, but the song is called Home Vacation. It's on Salam Remy's last project. And the dude's like just singing. And like the vibe is, I'm like, yo, I could see making a song like that for an R&B album. You know what I mean? So I think I said this a couple weeks ago. Once we stop talking about hip hop, I'm much more open to being creative. But but you trying to be famous, man? Huh?
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I think Pharoahe was hip hop, and at some point, hip hop became something else.
But Pharoahe also sings.
What people call hip hop became something. But hip hop hasn't changed.
Yeah.
And yeah, Pharoahe sings. Pharoahe's got a rock band.
He got joints where he crows.
He has a rock band.
Yeah, I got the joint.
Are you serious?
They call it 13 or something, right? 13, 13, something like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's in Bear's top 3, right?
13.
What?
Yeah.
The cover's
great day, a magnificent day for an exorcism. Rock joint.
Okay. Wow.
But it ain't like rock like you think. It was kind of like sort of that, and then sort of like rhyming over rock beats, and
okay.
It's a little dark, but it's kind of dope. It ain't an everyday listen. It's not an everyday listen.
Nah, definitely not.
All right.
Workout music.
Yeah, but I mean, and
wait a minute. Wait. What about Dead Prez?
Okay.
What about him?
What about him?
What about Dead Prez, my man? I mean, do they account as being next to something?
Like in a top 5?
Yeah.
Situation?
I think Dead Prez was dope.
Did Dead Prez do anything past that one album?
I don't remember.
I know the second one at least. I don't remember how it was. I know the first one was a classic though.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. I walk all of y'all into my little bitty trap. See, that's what it's like, Pharoahe. Whereas Dead Prez, they have Did Richard Die Trying get Free or Die Trying. They had Get Free or Die Trying. They had like 3-4 other ones. Then Stickman had a couple, and then M1 had a couple. They did a song with the Outlaws, a whole album with them. So yeah, they go very deep where I would have them, but I know that their popularity doesn't transfer to where I can bring them to the table after Black Thought, after he said Black Thought. You see what I'm saying?
Pharaoh
after Black Thought is where this how this started. If you said Pharaoh then Black Thought, I would have been like, okay, I can see that more. So
out of everybody we named, the person with the best chance of getting Black Thought's eyebrows to raise is Pharoahe Monch.
Is Pharoahe Monch? Yeah. You should hear the joints they do together.
Yeah, when they on joints together, it's all about.
Hey, let me in. I got.
It's always a draw. I don't think I've ever been like, yo, one ate the other.
No.
Okay.
No, and that's my point. Like Pharoahe, I don't see Pharoahe walking into any event like, oh snap, he's here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I think it's the other way around. Even with like Jay and Nas, be like, oh shit, Pharoahe coming on. Oh shit.
Yeah. Now the stage show might not be as glitzy, you know what I'm saying? The glamour might not be there, but from a let me show you how you work a microphone perspective.
Oh yeah.
It ain't too many better than Pharoahe.
Yeah. I'm no dummy. I know that much.
Yeah.
I know that much.
That's my point. You know what I'm saying? Like he you trying to choke me out?
I hear you loud and clear. Now that we talking about, I hear organized confusion. I hear it.
Yes, sir.
I hear it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pharoahe 30 years strong in it too.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. You know,
actually, all of them are at this point. Boo coming up on 30 years strong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jay just said last week there's really nobody that could really hang with him on a Verzuz stage. Y'all want to say anything about that?
You know, man, let me get mine in now.
Some people like, I'm not falling for the trap. It's just bait.
I already said that. It is bait and it is a trap. And we already know that it's already set up. They just going to build up the heat. He just waiting for the contract to get right.
So who do we think it is? Is it Nas?
Get his ownership right. I'm gonna need 3 points on.
Who knows? I ain't even going through all of that.
If it's a business move, it's M. If it's anything other than just strictly business, it could be.
What? That's bananas. You just thought of that?
Nah, I heard somebody say M the other day, and then I was like, shit, that makes
sense.
That's
crazy.
But saying the business move part, saying M.
Right, it's a business move.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But it goes.
If they want Verzuz to have the biggest Verzuz ever and to make the biggest money now.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That's the charge you put together.
1,000. Yeah.
Because you get the white crowd, you get the black crowd, you get the crossover crowd from a lot.
We like a good old fashioned white versus black. You know what I'm saying?
Or Drake if they do generationally.
Oh. I tried to listen to certain.
I don't like Drake.
I tried to listen to certain. I tried to listen to certain.
I don't like
that nigga either.
I don't like M either, but at least I could see M.
No.
I don't like that dude either.
M's proven himself. Well, Drake has proved himself as an MC on the mixtape circuit before he got with Wayne and them.
See, here we go with that mixtape shit again, man.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna put the disclaimer out there. I've heard songs. I didn't listen to whole mixtapes and all that, but I've heard of his rep and I've heard songs from that era, and I'm like, okay, I can see that. So I'm not vouching or putting my staking anything on that.
I like Eminem. Eminem could come out and almost Jadakiss every song and do better than he would if he did stuff from his catalog. So if M came out and was like, yep, I just heard you do Change Clothes. Let me do this remix I did to Got You Open by Black Moon. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Here go my verse from the Raucous Dre, Sound Bombing. Like, you know what I mean? And then his commercial joint, like I could see M. And I would want M to do just enough to get what he needs to get out of his core base, and then I would want M to be battle M the other 50 15, 16 opportunities. I don't know that would happen, but that would make me tune in. You know what I'm saying? Because
if he doesn't do most of the shit from this decade or this century, I think M will be all right.
Yeah. Might just win out default, but I don't know. That's a big one. That's a big stretch.
So can we say
about Busta?
90s Eminem?
Like 90s Common?
Right.
I'll put him up against 90s Common.
Wow.
Jay definitely has been a trendsetter though. I can't take that from him.
Right. He definitely set the curve.
The dude had people walking around with one arm in their t-shirts.
It's hard to put in my tops and to justify when I don't like most of his albums, to be honest, man. But it's just knowing what he can do is enough for me. Like knowing that if he really wanted to, and 444 was kind of like the proof of it for me. The way he did that album, that was the album I'd been expecting since Reasonable Doubt. So he kind of satisfied the end cap for me. I was like, okay.
He's not whack, yo, at all. You can't call him whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of dudes I'm like, I just don't like what this dude's saying. I can't say that about Jay. And my problem with him early on was I almost felt like he owed more to the game.
Yeah.
And once I got that out of my head, like, it was weird because I didn't really view him as a role model, but I thought he had enough pull to almost be a role model. It was weird, man. Like he was
like a hero, man. I think he was like a hero because he did dirt, but he was a phenomenal MC, but he also tried to put a moral behind the stories. So it was like you could see hope in him. I think all of us saw hope in him, at least, like, oh, this dude could really do something positive and help turn some things around. Is that kind of the feeling you had?
Nah, not necessarily. It was more like I guess a part of it has to do with when he kind of really hit, and I was at a point where I was like, yo, what do we as people of this age owe our community? You know what I'm saying? And whatever I thought that was, I didn't feel like he was giving it to our community. And that's an unfair.
What you talking about?
Jay.
Yeah, we still on Jay. We ain't left Jay.
Yeah, but that's an unfair kind of tag to put on somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this dude is, I don't know what he's doing behind the scenes. I hear what he's saying on his songs. But I wish he was more visible, and you could almost argue that he has become more of a social engagement figure over the past 5 to 10 years. So, I'm also talking about Jay 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So my feelings for him have changed a lot over that time. I just remember what I thought about him at that point. But yeah, I don't have no problem with the boy.
I made Jay work for it as a fan. Okay. I made him work for it. Okay. Reasonable Doubt is such a classic that he earned it. You see what I'm saying? And then he earns it and still pays his dues with Hard Knock Life. He pays his dues with H to the Izzo. He still pays his dues with New York.
See, them the joints that had me like.
He overpays his dues so much that you gotta let him in. You know what I'm saying? It's such a mentality. Jehovah, the God, that's a huge statement. And is he not like the Godfather? I mean, he worked hard to be this engaging socially that he could do more for you than Nas can. What they do for the community, I don't know. That's kind of face value. I mean, I heard about things that Jay does. But I know. I don't know a speckle of what probably going on. So I do give.
Yeah, and like I said, I let that go. You know what I mean? Like that was 20 years ago, and I was like, again, at that point, I thought I was going to solve the Black community's problem. You know what I mean? And not that I don't still feel like I can add to it, but I understand that it's not a one man job at this point. So,
but here's another ignorant reference. I remember I used to play that song for certain kind of guys that needed motivation. Big 3 billion 4. Dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun. Ha.
Oh my God, man!
You don't know.
You don't know, yeah.
You don't know. You don't know. And at this time, I lived on the 23rd floor, and all I saw was Lakeshore. All I see is the lake. So when the sun comes up, I see nothing but the sun. Wasn't no buildings blocking. So the sun came up. So this is the area we way up here and playing that for guys all the time, like try to get them motivated to get some money. These guys haven't had no job, no graduating and stuff. But you introduce that type of stuff to them, and they can kind of hear that. You know what I'm saying? That thing. He spoke so much to those guys that it was past what he means to me. And that's just one song. They not even no fans of Jay and shit, but they give Jay the benefit of the doubt. And that doesn't work with Black Thought. A Black Thought is far. That's why I asked that question, to see who's there with them really outside of all the politics. And Black Thought.
What doesn't work with Black Thought?
Well, he's saying with the Nas, Jay, and Black Thought, those three work together. He can see how Thought works, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he has that level of exposure, probably, or close to their level of exposure.
It has to be. It has to be Black Thought. It has to be Black Thought. Because right next to him is that what was that video that they was ain't no do.
Oh, Never Do.
Yes. Right after all this BS that I just mentioned.
Champagne bottles and all that.
That's right. The video was so lame.
Yes, sir.
Running in the video with the Moeds and the chains. Right behind all this BS is Black Thought. I not make Black Thought. Somebody, they need to start speaking. We gonna start that movement, man. We gotta get Black Thought up there, man. Jay-Z in the Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Come on, man. Past LL Cool J at the same time. You know, there's certain things that need to be done, and that's what I mean. All that bravado makes you think that he's in the same vein as LL. I don't think so. LL is, even if he is, LL's supposed to be there already. You don't put Michael Jordan and I don't know,
Kevin Durant
at the same time. Like, what are we doing here? Like, come on, there's some step to this, and you know, and that's what they do.
So what do you think what is a possibility? I was
about to say the same thing. What is LL's kind of position of legacy?
He in there already.
He in there already. Come on now.
Yeah.
But I mean, outside of that, like as far as this discussion, is he in that same discussion with you know, Jay and Nas and Black Thought, or nah?
No, because
with me is long, is heavy. I think that's why L doesn't quite make it into my radar. Like his bars don't seem as intricate to me.
But he was also the
Nas. They all got technical intricate bars. They all technicians.
But LL was a technician. LL's technical.
But LL was BR before Rakim.
Yes.
So you gotta.
Yes. Yes, he was.
But he's still, like, I think he's still.
I would put L with Busta, but I wouldn't put him with Nas and Jay. Like they also like the street drug rhymers, and he's, well, Black Thought isn't though, huh?
That's really what the problem is.
I don't know. Black Thought still has, like, Black Thought is, to me, the perfect split between telling you that I'll put a slug in your head without letting you know directly that I'll do it. Like, you know, when you listen to, like, I think Black Thought's
street without drug references.
His well, but even the drug references be in there. I just think he's so technically proficient with the delivery, like
you there, but you ain't there. What you trying to say?
Okay,
Black Thought's history for real is street shit, but that's not his rhyme history. So he could say the stuff. It's just the different lanes that people pick. It's like what we talking about. We talking about going up in the ranks of Nas and Jay, but you can't put nobody in there. That's a whole different category. We can't bring the people who went down the native tongue raucous era lane. We can't put none of them great MCs up with Nas and Jay. It's two different types of rhymes. It just is what it is.
Is it really that simple?
Yeah.
I like that. It is.
I'm cool with that.
It's completely different audiences at that point. Yeah, so you really can't bring one audience into the other and have a fair fight.
Right. It ain't gonna be a fair fight.
That saves me a huge headache. I'm cool with that. Thank you.
You're gonna have remember the damn Rockefeller videos or whatever. You're gonna have the tackhead girl with her damn track showing, putting up the talking about some Rosie HOV. She ain't not going to be feeling a goddamn thing that come out of Black Thought, Pharoahe Monch, Pasta Noose, or any other body mouth. She ain't gonna be feeling that shit.
I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know. I've come to realize that people's tastes are much wider than we give them credit for.
I want cookie.
No, a person's taste. A person's taste is much wider. People's taste, land in a motherfucker.
Is determined by
a person's taste. An individual.
Yeah, people's taste is determined by tastemakers.
Right.
But I think we're. I don't think it's that simple. Because if it was, then you wouldn't have people that like Drake that also like people like Jay-Z and Nas.
It's the same shit. We still talking about popular mainstream shit.
Oh, okay. But
right.
We didn't agree with you there. I'm sorry.
Right.
Those people didn't go to the mom and shop pops trying to get a joint off of Raucus. That's not them. They went to Best Buy to get the Rockefeller joint, the Bad Boy joint.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. He never. There's no way around it.
I think you brought me home. I think you got me there.
I wanted to say that LL is like after LL came the rapper. You know what I'm saying? The extreme can do it all rapper. I mean, LL is still on the backs of Run DMC.
You're right.
It's kind of like I picture like all of Run DMC, Rock the Bells, they rapping, and then this mountain is building, and then right at the top of the LL, he kind of come on and he do like this, and the mountain form, and then here comes Jay-Z and Nas like rapping and something. You know what I'm saying? It's like hip hop is built off L's back. You know what I'm saying? Uncle L, the future of the funk. So there's no comparing L and Run DMC to those guys because they saw such individuals and stuff like that. Man, because
I definitely say that. Yeah,
the Run DMC movies and shit, don't you dare say nothing about Uncle Run. You know what I'm saying? They were superheroes.
Yeah.
Nas and Jay weren't so much superheroes to me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Melly Mel and all them were superheroes. Like, didn't get a chance to see them in concert. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't Don't Push Me, and then everything else came. You know, so there's no comparison. Yeah.
Like you hear stories and legends about them. Those are the real legends.
Right. Because by the end, the money was
you can't see them in their greatness, but their greatness lasts and reverberates across decades.
Right. But what they did, there wasn't too many records being kept at that time. You know what I'm saying? The money wasn't as good as it was. But once the money got good, and then these guys came in to really nurse the game milk the game the way it's supposed to, they have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
To plant a seed that's turned into this, I mean, you got to be amazing and great to do something so powerful that it's made ripple effects that have lasted this long and they've gone on this big to the point that they create whole economies. So yeah, there's no question. Melly Mel, Kool Herc, all the founders, man.
Yes. I mean, for Christ's sake. I mean, that's New York. So yeah. There's no comparison. LL, the U-Log, I know they call him the U-Log. Shout out to King Killa and all them. You know what I'm saying? The disrespect they show the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get at them guys one of these days. They let me on that show. I'm tearing them up on that, man.
You gonna get at him?
Yeah, because I mean, he's definitely like a peak, and then here comes everybody else and shit. But Busta, did you say you gonna put LL against Busta?
I said, what about them two together?
I don't know.
That's funny. Not that it's. I mean,
for the way that the two of them perform, I'm like, okay, they might both be able to get the crowd as hype as each other.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I think that.
I don't.
The excitement of it and shit. You know what I'm saying? That'd be crazy. The excitement.
Busta's such a different animal, though, man.
Yeah,
LL is electric.
Which kind of makes it unfair right off the break.
I think the only person that got whose different animal comes close to Bus would be Missy Elliott. If you think about both of their styles,
I could see that. I hadn't thought of it, but I don't dislike that.
Yeah,
I hear people say it, and it makes sense on the level of the
I'm out.
It sounds like an insult to Bus just because Bus is an MC, and Missy, I don't think she considers herself an MC. I don't even think she even considers herself an MC. So that's kind of like
she may not, but she ain't no fucking slouch to use these words. She ain't no slouch.
On the performance side, yes, but her lyrics, I mean, how?
See, you just caught your first technical, man. You got a first technical.
No.
I get another one. I get another technical.
No. See, here we go.
Missy Elliott.
Here we go.
The MC.
The Verzuz ain't got shit to do with technical rhymes and bars.
No history like that. Are you kidding me?
Verzuz ain't got shit to do with technical rhymes and bars.
Okay.
So we can throw all of that ideology.
I mean,
it's gone.
We trying to get.
No, stop
trying to match somebody up that matches. Missy doesn't match. Missy doesn't match.
Hold on for a second.
What?
Bus comes out. He cut his hair off now, but Bus comes out. You know, right, and then Missy comes out in a spacesuit. Ooh. I can tell you, crowd's going crazy, yo. Crowd's going crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, y'all selling tickets. Y'all selling tickets. All right, okay, y'all selling.
That's what Verzuz is here for, to sell tickets.
This one I've seen debated online. I see this one. I just walk away from this conversation. I don't even.
Okay, yeah, right.
I hadn't seen this. Like I was like, I don't know who you put up against, but Missy is as good as anybody I've heard. I understand why people would be like, that's asinine. It makes no sense. Yo, Missy with the outfit changes. Yeah, she's got enough performance-wise. She got the dancers with her.
Yes, sir.
You know, Bus is allowed to have Split Star on stage with him then.
But he's got to.
What you mean allowed? You already know Spliff gonna be there.
But if it was Bus and LL, can he really have Spliff on stage if it's just him and L, for example?
I don't like the Bus and LL one, to be honest. I
don't like Bus and LL either. I mean, because you got Bus is gonna be hype. You got LL, you got like 2-3 hypes, and then the rest is like, you know, Pink Cookies, Backseat of My Jeep, or some other let me show you my nipples shit. You know what I'm saying?
I need love.
Yeah, but he gonna bring Jennifer Lopez out with 3 dancers when they do. You know, when they do their song, I can see LL and Busta more so than Busta and Missy.
Yeah.
Missy
That's funny.
Missy
That's funny.
Missy is Missy is the female bus though. Like Missy is
not lyrically.
Okay, now you done caught your first tech too. Now wait a minute.
No,
you say Hype Williams ain't the two
flags all over the screen, man.
Think about it, yo.
She is not the female Buster. That is.
Listen. I'm not saying she got the tongue twisters and all that. The you know, rah. Like but actually she does have a rah. That's part of it.
She bit that from Busta. Okay, I'll give you that. But as far as being able to get on stage and go against Bust, nah, that ain't gonna work. She gonna run out.
All I'm saying is
you better go against Pharoahe or something.
I don't know. From a lyrical proficiency perspective, sure. From a stage presence, Pharoahe is too laid back, not amplified. The thing that makes Missy work is Missy's going to match his energy and his craziness.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what makes. I'm with you.
That's what I'm talking about.
As soon as you said it, I saw it.
It's a showman's competition, but it's not an MC's competition.
Right. But I don't think you can find. I don't know who you put against Bust from. If you find somebody technically proficient enough, they're not going to have the other antics that go along with it. Bust is the perfect mix.
You just gonna have to lose
all of that crap. But who's going to tune in?
Only other person that could have done Bust if he'd have been here still, RIP would have been Dirty.
Dirty
I think Dirty would have been a good.
Yeah, Dirty would have been good.
For 3 songs, 4 songs, 5 songs, maybe. What about the other 15 songs?
I'm saying if he had been here still
yeah.
He would. Oh,
you saying okay? I see what you're saying. So
and team right, and had a chance to build catalog right. Yeah.
So not just I feel you. He's got now 30 years.
Same thing with Big. That's why we can't really talk about Big in this conversation because he hasn't had a chance to build catalog like Jay and Nas have.
I'm with you. Yeah, I can see old Dirt, dog. Yo, speaking of Dirt, have y'all heard the story about him doing his verse for the Mariah Carey Fantasy remix?
Yes.
Wait, what happened?
So, have you heard the story?
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
And the video. Both of them.
That is the best story. Yo, that dude was he was really nuts, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was really nuts.
Really
amazing, man.
Living the life. I mean, couldn't you tell with that album? Easy on my balls, they fragile as eggs. That's how side A went off and shit. You had to flip. I remember that you had to flip the tape or something.
Mm-hmm. Yo,
Easy. He was talking to the teacher.
I still say the radio edit for Brooklyn Zoo is way better than the one with all the curses.
Ooh, Brooklyn Zoo.
The demo version was better than all of them.
The demo version. I love the demo version.
I haven't heard the demo version.
I don't know.
I don't know this, but I love all the sound effects in the radio edit. Yo. I'm a huge fan of the radio edit. Matter of fact, I was disappointed when I heard it with all the curses in it because I thought the radio edit was so good.
Wow.
Man, I gotta revisit that.
I was adamantly against the radio edit. I was like, what did they do to the song? It don't even sound like Dirty anymore. So that's funny, man.
I love you can suck my.
No, the demo version was like you could tell the mix was real lo-fi. It was real dirty. I mean, it wasn't full. It wasn't heavy, but his delivery was the best out of all 3 versions.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go look for that.
I mean, you got on the mic, all that. It was nasty.
Yeah.
The delivery was the best out of all.
So where's Method Man in all of this? Where's Method Man at in all of this?
I was thinking of Method because that original version of that Mary J song is a lot harder. That all you need, you all up. The original version, that track was so heavy.
Yep.
Woo.
Yeah.
Man.
But we're like, is he? Where is he at on the? Is he middle to bottom tier A, top of tier B, tier C? Where is Meth at in the?
I'm gonna let T handle that one. T, I don't know.
Man, all right. I think my problem with Meth. Let's see.
Starts with a problem.
Yeah, it starts with a problem because we can't never talk about his rhyme ability. We can't talk about, we just can't talk about his rhyme ability. It's just the songs.
But which aspects of his rhyme ability?
I mean, dude, meth is cold. But once we start talking about,
meth is the dude. I think I'm with that his. I don't think he makes good songs.
That's what I'm trying to go with.
Right. As soon as you started, I kind of felt where you was going as soon as you started.
Yeah.
I hate to say that.
So I think is it that's missing from it that makes it so that he doesn't make a good song? What are the components?
Man,
I think his beat selection might not be the best.
No.
First thing I say.
And I think
what the blood clot?
Man, he was
here's my other thing. There's two things for me with meth. One is beat selection. The other thing is after Takal, his delivery pretty much became monotone, and he used that same delivery that he used on that song on GZA's album. Every time I hear him rhyme, it feels like he's delivering that same verse to me ever since I've heard that. But before that, he was yelling, he was screaming, he was animated, all that. He became a different MC.
I understand what you're saying, yeah.
After Takal.
Yeah.
He may be suffering from dysphagia, yo. I don't know.
But when he gets with Redman, he gets a little more amped. And there've been times when he's come out and he's shocked me, like the joint he did with Conway, Lemons or Lemonhead, I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
His delivery was a little more animated. I give him a little more credit.
Yeah, but it's just that. It's like
that's a good point.
Crew songs, he there for the crew song. Like you could put him in the back cleanup. Features, you could throw him in there. We gold. But it's like when you push him out there by himself, it's not so much. So,
and everybody's not meant to be a solo artist.
Yeah.
Regardless of how bad they could shine out of the entire crew, but they just may not be meant to be solo artists.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think Method Man, the song was a dope song, but I don't remember many of his songs after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Mary J. Blige joint. I don't think I even checked.
You don't Bring the Pain.
We still talking about the first album.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think I really listened to that first album all the way through.
Even that one has some beats that I wasn't a fan of, to be honest.
Right.
Were like underserved him and his ability level.
Yeah. I only got the first two albums. I ain't even. I listened to some of the other ones, and it's just like, I'm good.
Yeah, you're right.
Redman, I think gave him a little bit of a paddles to the chest because he kind of has to step up when he goes toe to toe with Red, because Red brings that animated character. So Meth has to be a little more animated with Red.
Where is Red in the hierarchy?
He's amazing, man, but I don't know where to put him, man. To be honest, it's something that's keeping him from, like Pharoahe Monch. It's something like that same Pharoahe Monch factor where he's not breaking that pop culture bubble. But as far as an MC, I put him against anybody.
Is that maybe by design? Like, is it possible that they've gotten where they want to go? Not necessarily. I don't need any more money, or I don't need any more bread, but have they maybe hit?
No.
Like where they wanted to.
No,
I don't even want to say the plateau, but
I don't think it's that. I think he just do what he do. I think the that one episode where they had Redman on MTV Crib says it all. You go to his crib, he had a regular ass crib, look like all our spots, and it was just like, it just is what it is. He ain't got to be flashy.
He wasn't willing to compromise.
So again, if that's where you are, and then you've achieved this, have you made it? Right? There's a difference between wanting to be Jay-Z and not being Jay-Z, and then wanting to be Redman and being Redman. You know what I'm saying?
I think he's living his dream.
Right, yeah. I would agree with that. And that's kind
a
of
dream for me. Shit.
He living his dream, but
I'd much rather have his life than have Jay's life.
There you go.
I can see that.
Well, my view, what my view is of what his life might be.
Yeah, yeah, we understand. Yeah.
Okay. Everybody got
what I want. Drop a song, and just the people that really fuck with me know about the song.
Rather, I was thinking about it.
Out there, rubbing elbows.
We all were thinking about it, right? We all think about, man. Jay does have
like Jay has, like he might be at that. I can't go out and enjoy shopping.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You want to be able to go to the grocery store, get some
milk. And he has to get political
quick.
Answers.
Right.
Right.
Politically correct answers.
Yeah. So I that gave me pause because I felt that. I felt that.
But sometimes we are who we are due to certain circumstances. So now that you hear about what happened between Erick Sermon and EPMD that broke up the Def Squad, I thought the Def Squad was gonna be it. They had Jamal, they had all these ill MCs, Keith Murray at that time. Once you hear about what happens and how that affects a Redman, and once you hear about, people passing away, how it affects them, that's a good point that you said. He's still in that same mode, Method Man is, that same rap mode. That's why he just read it off the phone like that, like now.
And you know what?
What?
Because
you
just mentioned the EPMD that hits me the same way, because I feel like Erick Sermon before the breakup, his delivery was so much different than Erick Sermon after the breakup too. And I loved his more lazy flow from before the breakup. I feel like he had a lazy flow.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's been gone. He's been more animated, more rah-rah, and that doesn't appeal to me as much as his original.
Man, but on the way up, they had some classics. They definitely in there.
Yes, sir.
Erick Sermon's still an animal.
Who did you prefer, Eric or Parrish?
Eric, myself.
Before the breakup, after, actually Eric always. Yeah,
Eric.
So that's 4 for 4. That's 4 for 4. Yeah, again, I think he would Tip or Phife.
Tip. What? Pause?
No, it was a pause because it's like Tip right off the jump.
Right.
But
yeah.
I remember later on going back and listening, and it's like, Phife wasn't no slouch.
When
Phife found his footing,
right?
When Phife found his footing, he held his own. I think Tip is a much more interesting MC, meaning it's not like Phife stuff is kind of just laid out as black and white. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to digest. Tip was definitely more abstract, abstract poetic, right?
Yeah.
But Tip definitely was on some other, where Phife was more kind of in your face. But when you listen to songs like when they both was getting off, it's hard. It's kind of hard to say. Like you could take Relax Yourself, Girl, Please Settle Down.
Electric Relaxation.
Electric Relaxation.
Yeah.
Neither one of them was a slouch in that joint, but as far as bust off on your couch now, you got Siemens furniture.
That was a wild line.
Yo.
You got that line.
Yeah. That's a wild line. I love that line.
I'll never say that he's as good as Tip, but Phife was definitely dope. I love Phife. Man.
Yeah, so I
wouldn't do what they were without him, but Tip.
I'll take Tip. I go Tip. Yeah, you're right.
I think head gun to my head. I'd probably go Tip 51-49.
Yeah, right.
Like, it ain't no landslide. You know what I'm saying? And
I used to get offended by that.
By what?
By anybody saying Phife was anywhere near as good as Tip. I used to get offended.
It's definitely Tip. It is.
I had to realize that there's just that big a difference in people's taste in MCs and what they look for in an MC, and I didn't really expect that.
And I think if you go back and listen, I think Phife is just more black and white. Mm-hmm. But if you listen to what Phife is saying, Phife wasn't no slouch, yo. Now he They are definitely two different types of MC, and I think that's kind of what made Tribe work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But once Phife started to find his footing, yeah, I think like you listen to Midnight Marauders, yo,
it's a nice run.
Yeah. I think what happens is once you start listening and you rhyming along, you know, then you realize, you know, whose rhymes be standing out to you when you rhyming along. It be them damn punchlines Phife was throwing. That's when I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
I'm kind of feeling dude, I guess, you know.
I haven't thought about it from that perspective. I'm going to try that next time I listen, see who's
now I think.
I mean, he's definitely the second fiddle, though. The second banana, as they say. He's definitely the second fiddle.
Tip was one of Tip was one of the people that I was like, I need to learn how to write like him. So.
Yeah.
Tip was, in a lot of ways, Tribe from
right.
Production,
beats, concepts.
You know, Tip was the Paz the Noose of Tribe.
Yeah.
So you can't, even though the more I learn about Paz, the more I kind of understand how much he was to De La or is the De La, but you know, also Mason Day, like just kind of getting to know them more. It's like, yo, them dudes was all geniuses in their own right. Yeah, Tip was definitely out of, you know, the three people we, you know, Tip, Shaheed and Phife. It was probably 66% Tip, then 33% the other two were 50 Tip, 25. But
Yeah, it's definitely Tip.
You watch the documentary, you get that from that Beats, Rhymes, and Life. Did y'all watch that?
Yeah.
He talks about how he had to push Phife a lot, and Phife just wasn't as motivated and just wasn't as passionate so much as with Tip. It was like, yo, this is my food, this is my air.
Tip to me was about the music and the business. Phife was about living. And what I mean by that is, like, Phife was like, yo, I'm going to do what I do, and it's going to be dope. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Tip was... Phife had God-given ability, where Tip had the ability and worked to keep enhancing it. So Tip had the Jordan work ethic with the Jordan skill set. Phife had... you know, kind of the maybe the skill set without the work ethic.
So here's where I guess it's kind of like goes back to the health and almost mental health thing too. If you think about this, Phife had something else going that Tip didn't. Phife had to fight diabetes, and he was dealing with being a diabetic the whole time. So he probably had a different appreciation for every day and every moment and every healthy moment that Tip probably, as the rest of us, probably took for granted. So that also gives Tip the ability to focus more on the arts, whereas Phife may have less time for that because there are those days when he's just down.
Not knocking him at all. Just saying,
I never considered it. I was just saying I never.
No, but you said, you know, life, like that is, but that's when you said, you know, Phife was more working about life. I mean, I thought along those lines about like his actual life of staying alive. So that is a huge dynamic. At some point, Tip should have just ran off and been. This is what I mean, that leadership, that bravado, it helps in terms of when you lose somebody, you got to lead your way out of misery and all that stuff. You know, maybe Tip should have took a hold of the steering wheel and not let the group fall back.
But I don't know if you could do that with a bunch of grown men.
Not with grown men, you can't.
Yeah, that's true.
It's impossible.
You know what I'm saying, like I actually, if you watch the documentary, you can see where Tip thinks he tried it.
Yep.
And Phife acknowledges that he tried, but his approach didn't work. And Shaheed is almost on some, I was just trying to get these brothers to be peace for a while. And then Jerobi is like, I don't want to pick a side, but Phife needs me as a friend. So, you know, I gotta, so I think they tried, but you know, men are men, yo. And if you can't put your ego aside, not saying right or wrong, but if you can't put your ego aside, shit, we don't have no money, and I know how my ego get in the way. I can't imagine having some bread and having somebody trying to tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
That's in your head too.
Yeah, and then yeah, you don't need him anyway. I always thought you was doper anyway.
Right.
I am doper. You know what I'm saying? Let me go hop on this whack beat, make this whack song, and put it out. Everybody can tell me how whack it was. But you know what I mean? So
right.
I think yeah, it's hard to do that with grown men. That's yeah.
That's very true.
I might go back and rewatch that, man. I might really watch that.
I need to rewatch it.
Yes, but in that critical state, you have to keep reaching if you want that to be the plan. If you really wanted that to happen, you had to make that happen, and that's what.
But you can't.
I know. I saw it. But
I can't make you do something you don't want to do. Especially like Tip is in New York, Phife is in Atlanta. That's basically me being here and you being there. If I'm hitting you like, yo, XYZ, you can lip service me all day. Yeah, I'm on it. If you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it.
If they had this technology, they would have worked it out.
Maybe.
I think so. Because technology changes communication. You know what I'm saying? That last one we were talking about drinking and all that stuff. And now, sometimes when we go back and I watch them on YouTube, I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck am I going to say? You know what I'm saying? But so, yeah,
I feel you. I do feel you on that. I forgot I was that oversized. Yeah.
I haven't talked to my father about that fight ever since. We never talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But we still and shit. So meaning that
I didn't even imply I won the fight. Oh no, I lost the fucking fight. My bad, yo. That's just one of my. Every time I see that, I'm like, yo, that shit is hilarious.
We got 2021 quotables, man.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think if they would have had better communication, it would have worked out. And that documentary hurts, man. That's a tough one.
It does. That hurts in the last project.
Yes.
Because you could still hear the magic. You can still hear.
Yeah, it sounds so good.
You can still hear what made you love them in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And you can hear that they are better together than they are as individuals.
And you could hear the growth, like where they could have been, like through that album. No, we missed out on all this growth, and they could have been that much further had they been together all this time.
Mm-hmm.
That hurt.
I think Effects is up there as far as being like a good two-man group and complimenting each other.
The only problem with Das is they got on that bum diggly stuff, and those gimmicks have shelf lives.
That was just a start. You got to start.
But you get. If you get pigeonholed into that, same thing with Onyx. Onyx got pigeonholed into being super angry. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And once that ran its course, and a lot of those things had shelf lives like 2.5, maybe 3 years. So
yeah, but then,
get it. And
who's broken out of a trap like that? Who's broken out of a trap? De La did, having that Daisy Age thing, right?
But they did it.
Quick. Yeah, look at that.
They did it on their second album though. Yeah. They didn't do it 10 years later. They did it on their second album, and they went specifically in with the purpose of doing that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like it was much different than realizing the wave had passed after your second project.
So that's the trick.
So I think, yeah. Well, I don't know. That seems to be what worked for them. But they speak specifically to how they felt like they got pigeonholed into that. And the other thing that kind of made them move was Black Sheep. Because they were like, yo, we was the hotness. Then Drez came out and kind of took all the shine.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? And they
it's one out of Native Tongues for a minute.
Yeah, but he was in between De La Soul is Dead and 3 feet high and rising. Yeah, so he was like
they came in between that album. No, I didn't realize they came in between those two.
I'm like, I thought they came after De La's Dead. I mean, I ain't for certain, you know.
Let me check. Because I remember, like, actually not long ago they were talking about this on something.
May 14th, 91 for De La Soul is Dead.
Okay, so then it would have been right around that same time, because
October 22nd, 91 for Black Sheep. So it looks like it's about the same year.
Yeah, about the same time.
Right. Okay. But so when did they put The Choice Is Yours out? Or one of the singles?
That was the summer bang of the next year around. So that was around summer, summer of 92, spring of 92, maybe winter of 92.
So the release date for The Choice Is Yours was October 29th, 91.
But yeah, I think because I didn't heard I'm like you, I didn't heard 1,000,001 damn stories and things about all of that era. It's, you know, they was all working on each other's projects and in and out of the studio with each other. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they might have been sitting there and was like, man, these niggas is kind of fly, you know, you can't come with no crazy shit.
But they also actually, it was on the Prince Paul was talking about it on what had happened was that's probably who did, a good bunch of it at But he was like, you know, so these dudes, in addition to trying to break out of being pigeonholed into that, you know, Daisy Age and Love and Peace stuff, they also had, you know, Black Sheep coming through, and you know, like Tommy Boy put a lot behind Black Sheep, and kind of they was talking about the difference in the budget. So, you know, I think De La made a concerted effort on that second drink to not be in that box. And the other thing is they was like, you know, Say No Go, you know, how much they hate Say No Go. And so, you know, it was almost to be the exact opposite of 3 Feet High and Rising in some ways.
You know, I heard 3 Feet High and Rising after I heard De La Soul Was Dead.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't hear De La Soul Was Dead when it first came out. I heard it after. I mean, I didn't hear 3 Feet High and Rising when it came out. I heard it after De La Is Dead.
Hey, wow. Okay.
So when I heard it, it was like, so my experience with it is different from everybody else. The experience is always, oh, wow, you know, you hear this, it's all different and shit. And then I pick it up and I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know, compared to De La Is Dead, 3 Feet High and Rising, I'm like, what the fuck is this? It wasn't that it was whack, it just wasn't, you know, it ain't the same.
It was a different tempo at that point.
Yeah.
Only time I ever walked out of school was the day 3 Feet High and Rising got released. I walked out of school, walked across the street to the record shop, bought 3 Feet High and Rising, and walked back to school like ain't nothing happened, went right back to class. I had to have that joint. And you know, the record store might have got 3-4 copies of that joint, so I had to be there when they opened, you know.
Dang. Yeah.
Only time I ever walked out of school. That's my word, yo. That's the only time I ever walked out of school.
The only time I was that dedicated to any album was with DOC's first album. No One Can Do It Better.
Yeah.
I was at the record store every Tuesday for months waiting for that album. It took forever from the time that video dropped till that album dropped. I think it was Seasons.
Wow.
Every Tuesday, like, the DOC come out yet? Nope.
Every Tuesday. Remember when albums used to drop on Tuesday?
I was about to say that, man. So to kind of go back to what we was talking about a few minutes ago. So you think about it, how long it was after that single released before the album came out. You know what I mean? Yeah. That kind of tells you right there a lot about what that era was like. And why a lot of people today just can't can't compete, man, because like there's people putting stuff out every 3-4 days now. Yo, it's garbage, but you know that's what dudes is doing to stay relevant, man. And it's a much different audience now. Yo.
Mm-hmm.
They're never gonna have the appeal of actually going to get them and picking them up and staying in the record store for like hours listening.
Yeah, but not just that, being able to sit with the album.
Yes.
And actually listen to it and study it. Now it's just like,
yes,
it's almost like getting the new headline, the new album come through. Did you hear it? Boom, boom. They post up that one good song off of it. Oh, this shit was fire. And then we on to the next thing.
But see, that might be our fault because you just got to keep on playing stuff. We got to keep on playing it. Like, if you think 3 Free High Rising is your shit, that's got to be it. The stakes is high for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always play it. We got to keep it in rotation because they're not, obviously.
No, they're not. No.
Ain't nothing tangible about the music and stuff like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's just the way things are consumed now is so much different. Like it's you know, it's just an Alex lesson, man. Alex pointed that out to me. I'm like, what you mean we gotta make some more music? All right, we gotta let that bubble. He's like, man, they don't. Like, we just put it out. They done with it. Yo, we behind the 8 ball. Yeah. I'm like, nah, like we got like a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, another thing. Like, nah, yeah. Bro, the window's closed. And like when I started to listen to, I'm like, yo, this sucks, man. It sucks because the quality doesn't even matter, yo. And a lot of times is and trying to find that balance is interesting, which is one of the reasons I respect Pharoahe Monch so much. He's like, yo, I'm doing it on my time. Redman, I'm doing it on my time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My way. Well, here's a question I was coming to. You kind of led to this with what you were just talking about, Rashid. I was going to ask about people like Conway and Benny. Have y'all listened to a number of rhymes from them at all?
Not me. I'm out of this one.
I couldn't tell you a whole rhyme from any of them.
Right.
I appreciate what they do. I think Benny is probably of the group maybe the person that I would resonate with the most. But I think it was it Conway on that freestyle that said I sold it for the Shaq, but I brought it for the Brian Shaw. That was one of the illest lines ever to me.
That's crazy.
But like I don't know any of this stuff back to back. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't. It's not what I can relate to, and you could see things starting to change as the popularity increased. The sound started to shift a little bit, and you could kind of see where I guess actually parts of it have ended up at already, but you could kind of see where it was starting to head down that more what's hot today sound versus the more gritty.
But watch this, they ain't going nowhere. Those guys are so edged and stoned. Before I got put on the Benny, my boy. Matter of fact, Ben put me on the Benny. One dude's Jewish cat put me on the Benny the Butcher. Probably.
That's the dude that got you to go to that high school, right?
Oh no! I used to work with this guy.
Okay.
Probably like about.
It was a Jewish dude. It was a Jewish dude that got you to go to that high school, wasn't it?
Who?
I thought you said one of your homies, like a Jewish cat. It may have been a Spanish cat, but I thought you said
Spanish cat. Yeah, probably Spanish cat. Yeah, the Spanish. Okay. No, that was my confirmation. Yeah, Spanish Filipino dude.
Okay, my bad. I ain't been interrupt your story.
No, put me on to him about like 5 or 6 years ago. I'm like, Benny. So underground shit. You know what I'm saying? So from Benny the Butcher, the 38 Special, they got so many like project put together. Man, by the time he got to this first one, there's a reason why Jay-Z is messing with these guys. This is some monumental stuff. This, like you saying, it is gonna change, but I think it's changing that they're gonna be in that forefront where they just dropping stuff and we just gonna be listening to it for no reason. They literally have a Nas and a Jay-Z in that clique. You know what I'm saying? The way they bounce off each other. And they rarely do songs together. So they really don't.
Conway and Benny are both like elite MCs. Both of these dudes, their rhymes, I don't think I've ever heard a rhyme from either one of them where I was like, okay, that rhyme was half-assed.
No.
They're dropping bombs that are like,
yes,
their bars got potency. For them to be able to do that for the number of albums that they've been able to do, say they've done in the past 10 years, 20 albums. You've got somebody like Jay and Nas who have, over the course of 30 years, done 20 albums. Do you think you could do a comparison between them and really say this one's greater versus that? Like, could you really say, put a Benny in a conversation against a Nas or a Jay at this stage? If he hasn't had years in the game, Benny, as many albums?
I think
Benny held his.
I think
Benny
so.
held his.
Yes.
Benny held his own on the track with Black Thought. I mean, Black Thought was on his song, but there was no.
Of course Benny, he is, because he gonna grab you by the back of your neck, and you gonna walk with him. He gives you no choice. He gives you no choice.
Okay.
If you sit through that song, if you sit through a Benny song, he gives you no choice. My son.
Oh, I thought you were saying Black Thought grabbed Benny and brought him along.
No. Yeah, the other way around. My son stopped what he was doing and was like, "Who is that?" But they kept hitting him so many times. This ain't little snoozy. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I say, come on in, son. Come on in. Sit over there. And I don't sit down. We gonna listen to this whole track. We listen to the whole fucking shit. Benny. Then we listen to 38 Special. Like, this is the way it's coming.
38
like he said, you're right. The effort that they give in every bar, even though it's so street and hood stuff, you can still hope for the what was he saying, the underdog type of guy.
They do that and they stay in that same lane and they still dropping bombs bar after bar is what makes
but that's much more.
I feel like you got to talk outside of that drug stuff. But these dudes are still talking the same shit.
Yes.
That to me is the mark of a great, like, hip hop has always been about telling you how dope I am. Right? How many different ways can I tell you how dope I am?
And how many different ways you can whip up some coke?
These dudes have literally spent the past 8 to 10 years whipping up coke and smashing chicks and stealing cars. Like, that's it. Like, you know going into the song what it's going to be about, and they still find a way to get it off. And you can't front on that, yo.
That's what I mean.
You can't front on that.
Yeah, and see, I can't listen to them regularly or anything like that because the subject matter I think is kind of, I need to go in other places. But just when I've listened, I've never heard one song where I'm like, damn, he was kind of dragged ass on that. I feel like it's worth mentioning. And just like with Nas and Hit Boy, Nas kind of doing these albums where he's kind of getting some commercial success now and some respect from, I guess, other crowds now because he's doing these albums with Hit Boy.
Too late.
Benny did one with Hit Boy before that, and the joint Benny did.
That's right.
Great.
It's too late, Nas. Here comes Benny. That's what happens in this game. In that game, it's too late, Nas. You know what I'm saying? It's too late. That guy got to move. You got to move out the way, or either give Benny his props and let him get your seat, because it's room at the table. Because they waited too long to come to the table. Jay is really coming back around and putting people in these tables, and man, Benny,
I definitely, I'm not.
Griselda click. Even old boy, who's the light skinned cat?
Conway.
Nah, West Side Gun.
West Side Gun. Yeah.
Bananas.
But are they qualified to compete against people with longer tenure though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think if you got the output, like, 10 albums is 10 albums, whether it took you 5 years or 20. 10 dope albums is 10 dope albums.
But I think it's kind of like what T-Bear was saying though, because does it stand the test of time though? Like, I'm still listening.
We don't know.
Reasonable Doubt now, but I don't know how many of those Griselda albums we'll go back to.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't think there's much today that we're gonna go back to. But I don't think that's the result of the quality of music. I think it's the result of the fact that we don't have the music physically. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have the album or the CD or the cassette, you got something physical, I think you're more likely to go back to it because you've got something tangible to touch and look at versus like, again, I got access to literally almost every song ever made on Spotify. Why would I go back and listen to your joint? You know what I'm saying? Like I could literally go discover people, and that's the beauty of it. But it's the gift and the curse.
I'm gonna say physical is also a reminder too.
Right.
Like, I'll see that. I haven't listened to that in a while.
Well, but even more than that, you made the conscious effort to go out and purchase it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
but they're very tangible. Their merch is bananas. It's like one of a kind merch. They've made things exclusive.
Not arguing that.
Exactly. They've made something tangible. They brought back album covers really being glorified and looking at like art, works of art. Like it's something to be thought about heading into this digital age where they're probably already might have a little bit of a hand in with making album covers one of a kind, and then people buy that album cover. I would want one of the album covers. That's how nice they are. So
I remember one time Benny was giving away like Pyrex pots or something like that.
Brilliant.
They merch ideas like it was Pyrex joints with him, like his little Sharpie on it or whatever. So
brilliant.
It's interesting and creative how that people are kind of transplanting. Like I know you're not getting the music physically, or you're not getting an album or CD, and that doesn't have value to you now. So now we give you this. It's interesting seeing how that's.
I think I'm gonna term this the Pharoahe Monch effect, because that's the effect that she has no clue that I've been digging the trenches with. I've walked home. I didn't have 2 cars 4 or 5 years ago and all that shit. I was walking my ass all the way from Northwestern all the way over here in the deep snow and shit. You know what I'm saying? So things wasn't always talking about. That's who you would listen to when you walking and grinding. So I've been listening to them albums. He got like 4 or 5. My man, Westside Gun sung an Islamic prayer. As out of tune as he is, he kind of reminds you of ODB a little bit. He ain't afraid to do anything on the mic. I can go anywhere. He'll say anything. He said a whole prayer, sung it out. That shit is cult-like over there in Europe and all that shit. You see what I'm saying? He has to cult. We think it's Benny and Machine is really Westside and 38 Special. Look up 38 Special.
Oh, I know about him. Him and Benny got a song together. They got a video together with the bars going back and forth. The way they played the bars back and forth was crazy, man. Like
it's very interesting now that you hear Raekwon talk about the Gambino family approached them when they were trying to drop Wu Gambinos. Because now here comes on the back end that we talked about, them niggas talk about eating pastas with Italian. That shit is, pasta, yeah, that shit ain't real. Okay, you talking about people that, okay, well, why would they be approached? You talking about the authenticity coming through in some of these guys, like these street disciples that Nas and them are. He may have a street because they are tied to those certain kind of things. And who you got coming out of Buffalo, man, where the motherfuckers went to hide at in Buffalo, and now you got these Negroes coming out like, man, Benny the Butcher, Machine Gun Kelly, The Machine, you know what I'm saying? Westside Gun, you know what I'm saying? These are type of tactics that they coming with. So it's kind of undeniable. You don't watch. As much as we ain't gonna hear about them, that's as much as they gonna keep rising to the top. It's gonna be real interesting. And that's it.
Are you finished or are you done?
I'm done. But that's the Pharoahe Monch effect, because he has no clue. I had no clue. And T-Bay had no clue about 3 Feet High and Rising. That's amazing to me. That's amazing. What about Stakes Aside? Did you at least grab that when that came out?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, right. You was already on that tempo.
Yeah, I was on the train then.
Right.
So a Daylight album, there's a question about a Daylight album. How do y'all feel about, and I guess Sheed, you probably the one to ask really, about Buhloone Mindstate, because I feel like that was the one for De La where people kind of got thrown off a little bit and didn't hit like I think all 3 feet, De La's Dead and Stakes is High.
Yeah, I gotta send a message real quick, but I'll gladly hop back on that. give me 2 seconds, yo.
All right. Ben, how you doing on time, man? I know we kind of late.
I'm all right. It's 9:30.
Yeah, man, it's 9:30. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, shoot, man.
Yeah, that missed me. See, I didn't even pick up on that.
I'm trying to remember if I even heard.
I didn't hear that at all. I know I did.
See, the early stuff, I ain't really start buying a whole lot of music until like 96, 97. Yeah. You know, so a lot of stuff was going back and copping stuff and then listening to it. So I didn't get Buhloone Mindstate probably until like maybe 97, 98. So it was different. You know what I'm saying? Going back to it was different. But then I don't know. It's like you had to sit back and look, man. De La just that group. You gotta. It's not
the Beatles. You know what I'm saying?
They do. Each album is different. Yeah, each album is different. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't just really write it off. You got to look at what they was doing, what they was trying. And you know, like the I don't even know if they I take that, but I was getting ready to say I don't even know if they use samples on they did use samples on that album. But you know, but like they had what did they have, like the live horn players and stuff. It was just different little things that they was doing. And you know, you just kind of had to run with it.
They like production, man.
Yeah,
this album for some reason it felt really different. I looking back on it, I remember it feeling different. Like I don't remember it feeling like it's. I don't feel like it. Like every album before that, like 3 Feet High and Rising, there was a lot of anticipation. The album delivered, you know, a feeling that was greater than the anticipation, so you appreciated it. De La is Dead, same thing. Buhloone Mindstate had Break of Dawn as a dope single that got everybody lit.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I did hear that.
I think they had something else, but I don't think they had anything else that kind of carried that album into, this is even greater than I expected the album to be.
Yeah,
Ego Trip didn't happen again until Stakes is High came.
That was a good album. That was shit. Yeah, they still had it at that point.
With Buhloone Mindstate, you think it was still just as strong?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember too many songs from that album that like really like stuck with me to the point that like I would say, okay, that's my song from that album. Like Break of Dawn's the only album I can think of.
Yeah, it was Break of Dawn. It was Ego Trip on there.
Ego Tripping was dope.
Mm-hmm.
And shit, I think the Running Through the Trench, the Patty Duke always stuck out.
Patty Duke, but that still wasn't like when I look back at it, it's like I could do without hearing that again if I had to.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't like
Ego Tripping I couldn't do without. I'd like to keep hearing that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this though, as an artist and a creator yourself, how much pressure is it on us to not have those flops in album? You know, so like I pulled off today leaving work. I put in Certified Lover Boy just to see how it affected me, because they said something about, you know what I'm saying, I'm feeling good today. Maybe so I'm like, let me try this shit. Because they kept saying there's something about it. I don't know what I was listening to, whatever. I could not make it past 20 seconds. He started singing already. I said, you know what? No, I can't. What am I doing? I pulled that out and I put in Sheed in them. I put on Commercial Break.
Commercial Break.
And that's what I wrote home to Commercial Break. Something that's just not gonna make it to the radar. So this is obviously Drake's flop to me. So how much pressure is on us to not have these flops, if that's possible?
Yeah, I don't really feel it because I don't have any expectations for the music other than to make shit that I love. Really, man. I don't know if it's like kind of like how she says, I make music with 10 people. I'm like, I just want to make sure that's dope as shit to me. Okay. And hopefully, I mean, if we make it together, it's dope to us, and that's good enough for me. Hopefully we find a crowd or an audience for it. But I don't really take any pressure to deliver anything to anybody, because I know that's the first path to failure for everybody. Every artist I've seen chasing that failed.
Yes. Yes, we got the luxury of being able to do it for the love, you know what I'm saying? And not make those same mistakes. Man, what a tough story to listen to about De La, man. The samples, fuck up all the royalties. I was so mad at them after a while because I kept hearing the story and all that stuff. I was so mad at them because they didn't put out music.
They had a fucked up deal with Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy had them.
Yo, but they put out music in between there. Like, people just don't know. Like, they got that First Serve project that they did, which is actually an album about making an album in the 90s, which is freaking bananas to me. But Buhloone Mindstate is actually one of my favorite De La projects, yo.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's like the way they went at that project to me was so dope. And it's funny to hear Maceo talk about it, because he's like, yo, I love Buhloone Mindstate, but to be honest, that shit bricks. He's like, yo, we ain't moved nothing on Buhloone Mindstate. But just the whole way they went about it and the way they kind of changed their sound up, to me, and lyrically, I think that joint is incredible. Yo.
It is.
Lyrically, I think that joint is incredible. So,
but we should have seen them more. I felt like we should have seen them more.
But they come from an era where you don't. Their audience is overseas, and they come from an era where you don't saturate the market with stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think they've been out. They've been doing it. It's just I think that might be a part of where my philosophy comes from too. Like, why am I going to cater to y'all when y'all don't even want to see me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't make a Lil Uzi Vert song. Yeah. I don't know how to do it. I have no interest in doing it. And if that's what you gotta do, I'll be the only person listening to my music, because I'm not stopping. But you know, so they've been relevant and out. It's just, you know, they catered to their audience, and I don't think they really tried to get away from the audience. I think they tried to expand the audience, but I don't think they looked to make a new audience.
Okay,
if that makes any sense.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. You locked in, we're gonna keep you locked in.
You feel like that's your favorite album from them, Buhloone Mindstate?
I think it's one of them, yeah. I could easily say 3 Feet High and Rising.
Yeah, 3 Feet High and Rising and Stakes is High.
I could say like, so. For me, so it's so subjective, because I don't even know if it's true, but I like that project maybe way more than most people do. Maybe I should say it like that. Because like the Patty Duke to me is an incredible song. It's mad different. Yeah. I don't think it's what you would think of when you think of hip hop, but a lot of their stuff isn't. Just the way they approach that, and the way Paz was switching his delivery up on the second half. Let no man take us under. You know, like that whole that whole project to me is bananas, yo.
I'm gonna have to go re-listen to it now.
Yeah, I got re-listen to it.
With Guru on the hook, running through the trenches, just to Patty Duke. Patty, what?
And,
we talk about drumless beats. IB. Well, it had drums near the end.
It had, but that verse. I am Paz the Noose. I be the new generation of slave here to make tapes under record exec tapes. The pile of revenue I create, but I guess I don't get it cut because the mint's a month late. Product of a North Cackalack cat who scratched the back of a pretty woman named Hattie, who departed life just a little too soon and didn't see me grab the plug tune fame. As we go a little something like this. Look, Mom, no protection. Now I got a daughter named Ayana Monet, and I can play the cowboy and rustle in the dough so the scenery is healthy where her eyes lay. I am an early bird, but the feathers are all black, so the apple that I catch is usually all worm. But it's a must to decipher one queen from the worm who plays groupie and spread around the bad germ. I cherish the twilight, maximize my soul as the right size. I look for the power to run out on the moon, and that'll be sometime soon. Faking in the face of kids acting like they black when they just niggas who don't ever speak, or some tongues who lied and said we'll be natives to the end. Nowadays we don't even speak. I guess I got my own life to live. Or is it because I got my own kingdom to rule? They say now and then it seems back now, or they say now and then something, but every now and then it seems like I'm acting like a fool. Now, I won't apologize for it. This is not a bunch of ratings, but a bunch of black man's pride. And I can safely say that I never played myself by touching sisters where their private parts reside. Yo, I'm about to play that shit now, yo. That fucking verse.
That shit was bananas, man.
God damn.
That fucking verse, yo. I remember I was just sitting there like.
Yeah, and it's personal as fuck.
Yo, as I go a little something like this, look, mom, no protection. Now I got a daughter named Guyana Monet. And I can play the cowboy and rustle in the dough so the scenery is healthy where her eyes lay. Like, yo, the imagery, the metaphors, the content, everything in that song, yo. Everything in that verse is just like, yo, how do you not feel that? That kind of just solidified Paz as that dude in my eyes, yo.
Yes, sir.
Cause he
break it down, shit. Like I didn't get half of that, man. I guess I was caught up in the beats and I missed a lot of that because that whole
man, you go back and listen to it.
I got to now.
Like I said,
I can safely say I never played a sister by touching where her private parts reside. Yo, I am an early bird, but the feathers are black, so the apple that I catch is usually all worm. And it's a must to decipher one queen from a worm who plays groupie and spread around a bad germ. Yo, that mug, he was in his bag on that song, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Paz was in his bag on that, yo.
Do like homework on that verse alone, man.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing.
Like, you actually giving me a new appreciation for Paz and helping me understand how much I didn't really understand how dope Paz was, man. Like I've always messed with him, I've always loved Paz, but I've never like really understood how layered and how deep his rhymes. And same with Dave. Sometimes both of their rhymes go over my head. Sometimes,
yeah,
this stuff is so abstract and so well buried. I was so happy with the beats that I would.
I'm moving slow as well.
I forget about what's going on with the rhyme.
Sometimes I think it'd be where you at when you get stuff. Like I said, I got Stakes is High dropped when I was going to school, and like before I even really knew a whole lot of people. So that was kind of like what got me through. You know, I had the Discman and I put my headphones on walking through the halls of the school. And that got me through. That might be how it became my favorite joint. But, you know, and I didn't even really realize till later on that they wasn't doing Prince Paul production then.
That was all them.
Yeah, that was all them.
Yeah. Paul, they kind of started to separate from Paul actually on De La Soul Is Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul talks about so you know they kind of they definitely started to separate from Paul at that point. Yeah.
I know Stakes Is High was Dilla though, right?
He had some joints from there.
Yeah, some joints.
I mean the album, like the song itself.
The song Stakes
Is High. Stakes Is High,
That beat is him. I don't know if he had any others. Did he have any others on there?
I think he might have had one other one on there, but I'm not 100% sure. I honestly wasn't checking for producers like that back then, yo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I just assumed it was them.
Yo, so speaking of Buhloone Mindstate, yo, what did you think about Ego Tripping? Johnny Fever, I Won't Catch, No, I'm Like a Cat, let me bring it back. Oh man, how did that joint go?
I've heard it a couple of times.
Ego Tripping.
I love the beat so much that I was hypnotized by the beat alone.
Yeah, the track is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that bass on there and the drum, that was everything I needed. I was hypnotized from that and I was just dumbed out.
Break of Dawn is on Buhloone Mindstate. I remember that's another joint I remember the first time I saw the video for, yo. I had just got out the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
I was living with, I had some roommates. We had fallen out, and I was about to go to school, so I moved into like the school I was at they had rented a house, and then they was renting the rooms in the house as a dormitory. So a lot of cats ended up with single beds and 2 to a room, and I ended up like my roommate for whatever reason didn't come that semester. I say that semester because I was only there that semester. I was out after that shit. But so I ended up with the room to myself, and I ended up having a king size bed because I pushed the 2 beds together. But I remember I came in from school one day, and the Break of Dawn video came on, and like I'm like, Break of Dawn. I'm like, all right, Smokey, okay, all right, I hear the sample, all right. And then I was going in the Boogie Down cat scan where the building fell down on the rat stand. And I was like, yo. There it is.
Ego trip. Ego trip. Mercy. Ego trip. Ego trip. Mercy.
Superman. That part with the beat right there.
Whoo, jeez, I worked up a sweat. God, so I'm like,
when now?
Wow.
I am Shorty. IB 411.
Whatever happened to her?
If I wasn't making song, I wouldn't be a thug selling drugs, but a man with a plan. And if I was a rug cleaner, bet you pies would have the cleanest rugs I am.
I mean,
whew, Jesus.
I'm looking at the tracks. I mean, it's a bunch of shit on there. It was just, it wasn't but what, them 2 radio joints. But it's a bunch of heat on there.
That whole thing is mean, yo.
Yeah, that. The Stone Age joint with Bismarck.
Yeah.
In the Woods.
Woods was dope. I love that one. Was that the one with Shorty on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd rather put a pistol to your head and try to burst it.
Whatever happened to her? Anybody ever hear anything from her after this album?
I think she got a project out or getting ready to put one out.
Really?
I gotta look it up.
Wow. I thought she was one of those never to be heard from singing that. I was looking forward to hearing something from her back then. I remember that.
Whew, black thing, man, Jesus.
I'm gonna do my daylight homework.
Yo. I love them dudes, man. I love them dudes.
Yeah.
They were right there behind Tribe in high school, but after seeing them perform, seeing them dudes perform is something different, man.
Oh, you saw me in concert? Really?
You know, it's funny, I've never seen them in concert, yo. I've never had the chance to see them in concert.
Wow.
I saw Tribe twice.
I've never seen Daylight. I've seen
Tribe once. Man, seeing them do Rock Cocaine Flow, that's an experience by itself. Just seeing the little transform, the way they stop it and start it and all that is, they got a dope little routine they do. Well,
that song,
I've seen them late.
I've seen Mace DJ. I've seen Mace came to Charlotte a couple years ago and did a rock for a whole night. Bananas, Joe. Bananas.
I've seen them twice. I've seen them but the Spit Kicker tour. Spit Kicker tour was dope.
Just Mace or Daylight as a group?
Daylight. Well, the Spit Kicker tour was Daylight. It was Reflection Eternal. It's Pharoahe Monch and Common. That shit was nasty. That was a crazy ass show.
Yeah, I've never seen Daylight.
Yeah, I seen them. The first time I seen them, I got tickets to see the Roots, but the Roots couldn't make it. And back then I was on OK Player. And Questlove was like, "Don't worry about it. Y'all still go to the show. I got something for y'all." We go to the show. The Roots wasn't there, but Daylight was there. And that shit was bananas.
You can argue that you might have made out better.
I don't know.
I mean, wow. Yeah, you can't go wrong. I'm not shitting on the Roots at all.
Right.
I've seen the Roots minus actually it was like Rue, because I don't think Questor or Black Thought was there.
Damn.
Yeah, but this was when Malik B was still in the group.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was there. Dice Raw, Scott Storch was still in the squad. Hub was still on bass.
Oh, this is early,
I don't know why. I don't know why Black Thought and Questlove weren't there. But
would have felt robbed though.
Yeah,
I got it for free, so I ain't really care.
There you go.
Hey, T-Bell,
what's up?
I was just gonna say the mix was pretty good, pretty hot.
Oh, the one I put up today?
Wait, today?
Man, I got 3 of them up. I've been putting them up back to back.
I was okay. All right.
This is all y'all just seeing them, but they not public yet.
Okay.
So I guess the goal. I know I'm gonna do 12. Try to do 1 a month. My personal goal is to try to get 24, so I can get 2 a month. I'm about to be out though, y'all.
All right, homie.
I will holler at y'all later.
All right, safe, peace.
All right. Yeah.
Gotta check those mixes out.
Yeah, definitely that, man. Yeah, he said he did 3 of them.
3. Yeah. Is the one of them a GRYSKL or?
I know he started a GRYSKL one. That little snippet he sent was amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
He be over there working. Yeah, thanks for all the help with pushing that single. I mean, on Spotify, it's doing pretty well on Spotify.
Yeah.
We all in it together, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting the video over to me for the thing too, man. For the episode.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I like to do something different every episode. Once I get to being more fluid with it, they'll get shorter, obviously, and more condensed. But also, you like to do something more special. Like this one, I did chapter markers in between. But,
okay.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so, it's making people curious.
Good.
But it's funny, like it's wild because nobody leaves feedback, but a lot of people are looking. Like people like, oh yeah, I checked that out. I like what y'all doing. I'm like, yo, say something, man. Like, that helps. Like, you know what I mean? Put a comment that helps, yo. But it's definitely people.
No, I think what happens though is if you give a compliment to somebody, you catch COVID or something. So you gotta be careful with that.
I mean, you know, we have a bad habit of not wanting to acknowledge dopeness until it's been acknowledged as dope. You know what I'm saying?
Certified by somebody else.
Jazzy Jeff said it like, you know, nobody wants to really make the next dope thing. They just want to make what's being made already. You know what I'm saying? And that's amazing to me, man.
Waiting for you to make it and then they'll take it.
But once you kind of blow a little bit, oh yeah, that was my man from way back. Oh yeah, I went to school with that dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know, that's my homie, yo. He lived on Middlebury Lane. Whatever.
That's why I said there's no pressure, man, because I already know there's no loyalty in any of these people that you want to try to impress anyway, man.
Yeah, but to me, yo, as long as we satisfied with the content, yo, that's winning, man. Yeah. And like, you know, like I'm always amazed when somebody that I don't know reaches out, like, yo, what were you thinking about on this song? What did you mean by that? I'm like, hey, you listen to my stuff, like you know, it's a dude in the Midwest. I might have said this, but it's a dude in the Midwest that hit us up like a year or something ago, man. He was like, yo, when this song, da 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 da, this reminded me of People Under the Stairs, da 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 da. I'm like, yeah, I took the time like to really write back and engage. I'm like, yo, you, first off, thank you for listening. You know what I'm saying? But you really listening, like, you know, it's a dude in Charlotte that has like a almost like a show. He happened upon us and hit us up and kind of the same day. He's like, yo, I think this is great, man. Anything y'all ever do, da da da. I'm like, and Killa Tapes was kind of the same way. And Killa Tapes, the thing I owe him a verse too. Man, he had to be one of them Monday.
You gotta keep that connection going, because man, I listen to it now, and
he plays a lot of dope stuff, man.
Yeah.
He
also plays people consistently, that Cracker Jack or something.
Yeah.
Uncle Cracker or something. Not Uncle Cracker. crack or something like. But
yeah, if you
been on there three weeks in a row. Like if it's good and you're consistent, I think he'll keep it.
If you send him something that's dope, if it fits his format, he's gonna give you run, yo. Like he's played a couple of my beats as bed music on his show.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and like he reached out like, yeah, I heard the Honey Jazz joint. I wanted to ask you if I play it. Like, so you play Honey Jazz and anything else on this joint? Yo, here, take it. Matter of fact, here goes some other stuff too. Have at it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's definitely a good dude, man. But that's my thing is just trying to build them connections. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. I like the brand and everything.
Huh?
I like the brand, the way it looks and everything.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. For his 1 year anniversary, I sent a pack over with like a T-shirt and a couple CDs. Like it had the commercial break in the branches of the same tree. And I told him I was going to send it. You know, he's not the type of dude to hound you either. So like I told him, and like that was like right around the time my car broke down, so I was kind of dealing with that. And then I hit him back like, yo, I apologize, I never sent it. What's your address? And he sent it, and then you know, I got in the mail. And the guy's like, yo, thank you so much. Like, you know, appreciative and humble, man. Definitely, you know, from what I could tell, definitely a good dude, man. So yeah, he like witchcraft. I introduced him to witchcraft. He plays some witchcraft stuff.
Okay, yeah, he sure has. Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely a good dude, man. You should send him one time, to be honest, yo. If you haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea.
That is a good idea.
He'll spin that
one time, yo.
There's a couple of DJs you should probably send it to directly. Donnie, that Glib Styles, dude, he's dope.
Yeah. Glib Styles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait, who?
You know, we should probably get a list together.
Yo,
that is a good idea.
List that we keep of who we send everything to when we drop something, and just kind of a checklist who to hit up, because right now it's just kind of off the cuff and it's just random. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to release this. I think we need a release routine.
Well, let's make that a topic for next Wednesday, because you know we put Kareem's joint out. Actually, we're supposed to do it before Wednesday, but we could get it out and then get the list together Wednesday, then send it to all them, you know, after that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That's a great idea. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Love it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think I'm about to hit the heat.
I'm with you, bro.
I'm about to record this video for Killa Tapes while I'm thinking about it, and I'm gonna do the same thing, yo.
All right, fellas.
Yeah, man.
Okay, man.
Wrap up another one.
Next week, then, all right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Y'all be safe, man.
All right, peace out.
Peace.